In this video, we're going to be going over the different plugins that I'm currently using on my website, under30wealth.com. So if you've not been to under30wealth.com, you can check out the links below in the video description. It's a website based around real estate investing and income growth, teaching you different ways to manage your finances, how to grow your money investing, as well as starting different e-commerce businesses and other sources of income to, that you could do as side hustles. So it's a helpful website if you want to check out my blog post. Today we're in the plugins in my WordPress dashboard down here. We've clicked on plugins. It's opened up this page. You can see currently I've got 28 plugins. We can see that I've got 24 of them turned on active, and I have 4 inactive plugins that are not turned on. So plugins basically add different features to your website. So if we scroll down here, we can see all these different ones that I've got turned on right now, which is the blue background color you see highlighted here. And you can also see that these all say deactivate. So that means they're currently active. If I was going to shut them off, I would just click the deactivate button. So going with the first plugin, Auto Optimize. So this plugin makes your website faster by optimizing CSS, JS, images, Google Fonts, and more. So when I turn on this plugin and I go into the settings, I can make sure that it combines different files together so that everything kind of loads at once together, and it helps speed up the load process of your website. It also automatically optimizes different images, Google Fonts, things like that to make sure that they're optimal and that they're loading as fast as they can load. So having this plugin installed versus uninstalled, I've tested and I have seen that my website speed does increase when I've got this, the settings configured and this plugin turned on. When I turn it off, I notice that my website slows back down again as all my different files that are trying to load at different times, and things are getting all disorganized. So it helps keep your files organized, compact, it combines them together so that things can load much quicker. Next, we've got the broken link checker plugin. I like this plugin because it notifies me via email anytime there is a broken link on my website. So if I'm outsource linking to an external website like Amazon, where I'm trying to send people to Amazon to generate some affiliate income, if they buy products on Amazon, I get a referral fee from Amazon. I've set up another video showing you how to sign up as an Amazon associate if you want to make some extra money from Amazon. So it'll let me know if one of my Amazon product links is broken. Maybe the seller has taken down the listing on Amazon and no longer selling the product. So it lets me know, hey, that link's broken. I can go onto Amazon, find a new product to replace that link with. Same if I'm linking to another website and the website goes down or something happens, maybe the website owner quits the website and shuts it down, it'll let me know. So it's a helpful tool. That way I can update my links and make sure that I don't have any broken links people are clicking on that take them to error pages. The third plugin we've got is the Classic Editor plugin. This was the new plugin I just recently installed for WordPress. So WordPress has switched over to a new editor. It's called Block Editor, and it's totally different how it designs your pages and how you kind of drag and drop things with like a page builder and a block system. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like the old school classic WordPress editor that I've always used in the past to do blog posts and to build pages with. So I went ahead and installed the Classic Editor plugin so that it overrides that block editor that WordPress came out with recently in one of their updates. And so I just go back to using the Classic Editor. The Clean My Archives plugin, this is an archive so that you can display all of your blog posts on one page in like a list format. So it's got a little short code here. When you activate this plugin, you just install the short code clean-my-archives in brackets here. You copy paste this, put it into a page, and it will display all of your blog articles that you've ever written. So if I want to show you an example, all we would do is come here and create a new post, or you would go and create a new page if you want to make an archives page called, under30wealth.com/archives. And the purpose is so that you have this resource page that your visitors can check out in order to see a list of all your content. So it's instead of them trying to scroll through random individual blog posts, you might have this one resource page set up that they can, basically just scroll down the list and look at all your posts in one place. So it makes it easy for them to pick and choose what articles that they want to view. So while that's loading, let's go ahead and move on to the next plugin, the Clicky for WordPress. So I use Google Analytics. Google Analytics is free. It's a Google tool. You sign up with a Google account and you get access to all kinds of data about website traffic, where your visitors are coming from, page views, how much time they're spending on your website. So you can basically see all the data of what your traffic's doing on your website. Now, Clicky is very similar. It's another analytics tool, and it's free if you want to sign up for one account. If you plan to have multiple websites under one Clicky account, you're going to need to sign up for their pro version, which costs, I believe, $10 a month. It's about $120 a year. I currently use their pro version. It unlocks some additional features as well. But it's easy for me to go into Clicky and look at all my analytics in one nice organized dashboard. Google Analytics can be quite confusing, quite annoying to try to work with. Clicky, much more simple to go on every day and look at my traffic and data all in one place. So that's another video we've got on the channel you can search for. I've done tutorials multiple times on how to set up Clicky, how to analyze traffic, and different features you can do on Clicky. So you can look for that YouTube video. All right, back to the Clean My Archives. So let's go ahead now that this page has published. Let's open it up and just show you what it looks like. So these are all the blog posts I've currently written on the Under 30 Wealth website. Right now we're cranking out about one blog article a day in June. So you can see here we've gone back 14th, 15th, 16th. So every day I've been putting out a blog post. It's got it categorized by the month, so June 2019. Now I can go back in time and see, previously I hadn't been publishing in a while on this website. I'm starting to get it going again here in June. We've been cranking out tons of new articles on real estate investing, but in the past we did a lot of other real estate investing articles, and you can see by month the little breakdown. So we can scroll all the way back kind of to the beginning of time when we set up this website back in August of 2015. So these were the very first blog posts that I ever put out to jumpstart my blog, and then we continued it from there. We published some in October, published some in November, December, into January of 2016. So you can just see the breakdown month by month, day by day, which posts that we put out. So if somebody wants to scroll through this list and find only the most relevant articles, it's a way to keep it organized and resourceful for your visitors so they can find content that most appeals to them. So that is the Archives plugin, and that's the short code you just paste in to get that list to populate. All right, moving on now to the ConvertKit plugin. So I do have ConvertKit, which is my email list. So I could actually go ahead and show you a brief preview. I've got other tutorial videos on ConvertKit already on my channel if you want to check those out. ConvertKit's an email list building software. So let me go ahead and log in real quick. All right, so when you set up your ConvertKit account, you've got your different subscriber tabs, automation tabs, forms, sequences, broadcasts. So I create forms under the Forms tab, and those get embedded onto my website. So if we go back here to my blog post, we scroll down to the very bottom of the page, you're going to see this blue form here called Learn Real Estate Investing in 10 Days. It gives a little intro of what they're signing up for. They put their name, their email address, they click Start Lesson 1. Boom, that signs them up for my free 10-day real estate investing course. That's an email course. So over the next 10 days, they're going to get an email each day sending them a lesson about how to invest in real estate. And when they subscribe with their name and email address, that data gets pushed into my ConvertKit account where I have my growing email list. So you can see every day my email list is growing over the past month, and we've now grown from 6,400 subscribers up to about 6,800 subscribers in the past 30 days. So we can go back and look at all kinds of data here. So you can see I've got almost 6,800 total subscribers. I've got a 35% open rate. So that means if I send out an email to all, 6,000 subscribers, about 1/3 of them are going to open my emails. So I'm going to get about 2,200 people opening my email. And then about 7% of those people are clicking on links in my emails. So if I'm driving them then to a product page, trying to sell them a product or, promote something, a lot of those people are clicking on those product links. And then we can see a lifetime. I've now sent 765,000 emails over the life of my ConvertKit account, which is a couple years old. So that's not, me blasting out tons of emails this year. That's over, the last 3, 4, 5 years. I've sent out a couple 100,000 emails there. So it's a really handy tool. I really like ConvertKit. They've got a cool interface that's easy to navigate. You can look at all kinds of data now. You can set up automations, so as soon as somebody subscribes to a form, I can have them auto-enrolled into my sequence where they get an email each day for the next 10 days. So that's another cool feature. I'm going to go more in depth on the ConvertKit plugin in some upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that series on the YouTube channel. And if you're new here, you can go ahead and scout through my playlist and you'll find the ConvertKit playlist. All right, moving on to our next plugin. We've got the Facebook for WooCommerce plugin. This one actually just got installed the other day when I was setting up my WooCommerce store. So I was doing a tutorial to show you guys how you can make a store out of your WordPress blog by installing WooCommerce. WooCommerce is an e-commerce plugin, and I actually have it down here below. It's just inactive currently. And it's a way to set up different products. So if you were going to sell training courses on your website, if I wanted to set up a real estate investing course that I sell on this website that people can sign up for, I would set that product up through WooCommerce, and that's what handles the transactions. It connects to like PayPal, Stripe, and I can collect money then through PayPal and Stripe. And so when they check out, on my store, then I receive payment, and then it creates an account with that WooCommerce plugin. So they have their own account they can log into, they can review their orders, their downloads, they can deactivate their account. All that happens through WooCommerce. So this Facebook one, we're not actually going to use. It just got auto installed when I installed WooCommerce the other day. So we're going to go ahead and deactivate it. And then to delete a plugin, we're just going to click on delete because I no longer need that plugin. So it's deleting. Next, we've got the Fast Velocity Minify. Currently it's inactive. I'm not using this plugin on my website right now. I was testing it out though. It's a speed plugin that helps improve your speed score for your website. So if we turn this on, it basically minifies a bunch of your files and kind of combines them together. All your different CSS and JavaScript files into different groups. It compresses them, and this helps your website load faster. However, this plugin's not needed right now because I have the Auto Optimize plugin, which we talked about a little bit ago. It basically does the same thing, combining, compacting all your different files, JavaScript, CSS together to make your website load faster. So when these two plugins are both activated, they kind of interfere with each other. So I'm currently leaving only the one activated, and I've kept this one in here so that I don't forget about it. Maybe in the future, I might do some other testing again where I turn the Auto Optimize plugin off and I go back to trying this one out. I don't know. I just don't want to lose track of which plugin I've already used in the past. So I've kept it here in my WordPress plugins file, but it's inactive, so I'm not actually using it. Now the Fusion Builder, Fusion Core, these two plugins come together with my theme. I use the Avada WordPress theme, and these are the page builders, the engines that help run my website. So if we come out here to my website, onto my blog article, you can see on my home page here that I've pre-built my home page using a drag and drop page builder, the Fusion Builder plugin. So I created different columns, different headings. So I added this little header section with buttons, text boxes, background image, all that was drag and dropped with the Fusion page builder. Then I created another column here that's just text with links. So I created a center text here. I created a couple columns here, split these in half. So I've got a 1/2 column and a 1/2 column to split the page into 2 halves. So it runs down the middle here. This is its own column and this is its own column. So that's all done in the page builder. We used a text box here to add this text and add these bullet points and links to different helpful articles. And then we added a blog section. So I can go in here to the edit page and you'll see all that on the back end, what it looks like. So that's the Fusion page builder. It comes with the Avada theme. It's a necessary plugin I have to have installed for my website to work. If you install other WordPress themes, there's like the Elementor page builder. That's a big popular one people are using. And then there's another one I think called WordPress Bakery or Compact Visual Composure. Visual Composure I think is the other one. So there's a couple main page builders, but I like the Fusion Builder one. So you can see I set that slider up. That's my little background text box button that gets them into my real estate school. Then I talked about this container with the text box, and then we split it into these half columns. So that's what you were seeing out there. And then as they scroll down, they get my blog. So I have a little blog element here that highlights all my different blog posts. So again, that's the Fusion Builder Fusion Core plugin. Icegram is the next plugin. This is just a pop-up plugin. So when people come onto my website and they're on my website for 5 or 10 seconds, a pop-up comes with an email form asking if they want to subscribe to my email newsletter in exchange for getting my best tips on investing in real estate, or maybe I'm offering, my free 10-day real estate investing course they can sign up for. So some sort of incentive, it pops up on the screen. They can decide whether they want to subscribe to my email list and get access to that freebie, or if they want to click out and not subscribe. So that's Icegram. It's a pop-up plugin. Next, we've got Jetpack by WordPress. Again, I don't need Jetpack right now. It got automatically installed the other day when I installed the WooCommerce plugin. So that's another one that we're going to turn back off and we're going to delete. Now, Jetpack does apparently give you a lot of different features on your website. I've never been a big fan because it causes a lot of issues with other plugins. My website's gone down before when I had Jetpack installed. It conflicts with these other plugin settings, so I like to leave it uninstalled and deleted. Lazy load helps load images later, so it helps speed up your page load times. So if I start loading a page, first my text on the page will pop up, and as I start scrolling down the page, the images won't actually load until they come into the view frame. So if you've got images down the page further, normally those would load first, and that would make your page load slower. But with the lazy load, those images don't load right away until you start scrolling down the page and you actually get to them. List category post is similar to the Clean My Archives. It's a way to create different category lists of different posts. So what I can do is I can optimize each blog post by categorizing it. So again, if we come back out here to my website, we've got different types of topics. So I might have real estate on my blog. I might have stock market investing. I might have budgeting, credit cards, student loan debt. I've got some other personal finance and website tips on here. So lots of different articles I've written, and I categorize them into these different categories. And then if I want to display an archive of just that category, so it'll look just like this, except all these articles will only be real estate, or they'll only be about student debt, or only about credit cards. That's what I can do with this list category post plugin. So it's really handy for creating different resource pages I can send people to where it's only a specific topic that they're interested in. Okay, Pretty Links. This is another great plugin to have installed. It's a way to track and share different URLs on the internet. So if I'm going to share a link to a blog post on my website to like Pinterest, I can create a custom Pretty Link and I can use that link out on Pinterest. That way, if I ever change the URL on my website, then when people are clicking on the link over on Pinterest or over on Facebook or on Twitter, they're not going to come to an error page. Instead, they're going to get, redirected properly to the proper page, because I can go in later and fix the Pretty Link, which redirects them to the right link, so that I only have to use the Pretty Link out on Facebook, out on Pinterest. So they're going to access that link, and I can keep changing where that link redirects them to. So it's not going to be the actual URL. It's a custom URL. So for example, I could make a link called under30wealth.com/shop. Now, the real link to my store page or my product page might be something completely different, but when they type in under30wealth.com/shop, it'll redirect them to whatever product page I want to take them to. So if I want to change out that product page, I can update it from time to time. So you can create lots of different pretty links. You can also put custom Google tracking links and clean them up and make them a pretty link. That way it's a short link and you don't have all that extra Google code, but when they type in that link, it still redirects them to that Google link that has all that code. And that's how you can track different visitors, where they're coming from, what platforms they're on, if you're using those Google tracking links. We've got the Q2W3 fixed widget. That's what you were seeing out here, this 5 strategies picture here. So what it does is it makes the image fixed on the page. So as I scroll down my page here, this image stays fixed in the sidebar rather than scrolling past it where it goes out of frame. Instead, it stays in frame. So as they scroll down the page, looking to the left, you can see all the text moving up and down the page while the image stays in the frame. So that keeps it there. That way it increases the chance that somebody sees it. Hopefully they click on the button here to get my free 5 strategy guide on how to find investment properties. And that's what's going to grow my email list that we talked about earlier over here. So that's an opt-in page that it takes them to from my blog. And that's how I'm building my email list as well, by having this sidebar image that I set up using this Q2W3 fixed widget plugin. Next, we've got the redirect 404 error page. So anytime somebody does click on a faulty link that's going to take them to a 404 error page, instead of just taking them to the error page, I'd rather redirect them to my home page. That way they can go back here and they can click over onto my home page when it redirects them. And what that does is, having them on my home page, they get access to all these resources again. So if they're going to an error page, they might hop off my website and never come back. But now at least it redirects them to my home page. So maybe they'll stick around and browse down the page a little bit, and they'll come across my different articles here. Maybe they'll click on my button to start my real estate course, or maybe they'll scroll down and check out my different blog articles. So that way it gives them something to do rather than taking them to just a random error page. So it's called the Redirect 404 Error Page to Homepage or Custom Page, and it's by Fullworks if you want to find that specific plugin. Scheduled Post Trigger. This is a beneficial plugin I've recently installed that helps me out. So right now I'm putting out a blog post a day, and what it does is sometimes I schedule blog posts ahead of time, so I've got 30, 40 posts scheduled to publish over the next month. That way, if I miss a week on vacation, I'm still getting a blog post put out on my website every day using the automated scheduling tool that WordPress has. But sometimes those scheduled posts skip and they miss their publishing day. I don't know why the error happens, but sometimes an error happens and it misses. So the Scheduled Post Trigger plugin will actually make sure that those posts are still published if they get skipped or they get missed by an error. So you can see that's what it says here. This plugin triggers scheduled posts that were missed. So anytime an error happens where it misses a scheduled post date, this plugin will automatically make sure that post still gets published so that I'm not, skipping ahead 3-4 days before I realize that that post never got published. It'll handle it for me automatically, so it's hands-off, stress-free for me. So it's a really helpful plugin and it's free to use. The Smart Podcast Player, this one's by Pat Flynn. If you've ever heard of Smart Passive Income, Pat Flynn's one of the inspirational guys that got me into building websites and earning money online through online business. And he's got a podcast that's very successful, and he actually created the podcast player. So it's a really fancy podcast player. So I actually do have a podcast where we've been starting up, working on episodes and putting them out here on my blog. And the Smart Podcast Player is basically a podcast MP3 player I embed on each web page that people can click the play button and it'll start playing the episode. So it's a really fancy one. I like it the best. It makes it look professional and clean. So that's what that plugin is. Smush, this is my image plugin. So it reduces image file sizes. It's another optimization plugin to make sure your website is loading fast. So anytime you import images into your WordPress media library up here in the media section, your file sizes are going to vary if you don't optimize them before you upload them. So sometimes images are going to be big in file size. So Smush will help compress those images down into a more small file size so that it makes sure your web pages are loading fast. So again, if people are coming to my blog here, there's all these different images on my homepage that have to load since these are images I'm using for each of my blog posts. So these images have already been compressed and smushed and optimized so that this home page can load quickly, which I showed you in another video. My page is loading in 2.2 seconds, which is really fast. But if these images weren't compressed and weren't optimized, it could slow down my website page, and my home page it might take 4, 5, 6, 7 seconds to load because of all these different image file sizes. So the Smush plugin is another great one to have for making sure your website's fast. Tiny MCE Advanced enables different font visual editor features. So when I'm in my blog posts, creating a new blog post here, there's these different toolbars here. So actually this bottom toolbar right here that says Georgia font, 12-point font, different indents. You can see I can change the text color here to any color I want. So these different tools here all come with that Tiny MCE Advanced plugin. So those aren't there naturally in your WordPress post editor. You have to install this plugin, so I can change the font size, change the font color by using this plugin. Updraft Plus, this is my free plugin that's free to download and install that backs up your WordPress website. So if you happen to have your website go down and you need to reinstall everything, you have backup copies. Again, you can sync the Updraft plugin so that it automatically backs everything up to the cloud. So I have it syncing to my Dropbox account. You have other options like Amazon S3, Dropbox, Google Drive, Rackspace. So there's a lot of different places you can back up locally or in the cloud. Velvet Blue Update URLs is another plugin I use time to time. Right now I've got it turned off to make sure that it's not taking up space on my website, slowing my website down. But when I do need it, I turn it on, and it allows me to quickly go in and update URLs. So again, if I find out that I decide to change a URL on my website and I've used that URL on multiple blog posts, rather than trying to go in and find all the different pages that I had all the different URLs that I had on those pages, I can just come here and use this tool and it'll say, hey, change this URL to this. So if I want to punch in my new URL, it'll go find all those old URLs and it'll update them to the new URL. So it saves a ton of time. and it's a cool resource to have, but there is a fault with it. If you happen to only type in part of the link, like if I happen to only type in under30wealth.com, it would go in and change that for every link on my website. So you want to make sure you have the full link correctly inputted when you're changing URLs. Otherwise, it can really screw stuff up. And I've had to actually go in and manually improve all of my links before, and that was a huge headache because I had to go reverse the damage that I caused with this plugin. So be careful when using it. Just a word of caution. WooCommerce we talked about briefly. That's just an e-commerce plugin that allows you to have a store on your website. So when you add this plugin, it installs a product feature where you can start creating products that have pricing, images, descriptions. So you can start adding products and start building out store pages and product pages on your website. It's free to install. WordFence is my security plugin. It helps track for people trying to maliciously hack your website. If they have failed login attempts, it notifies you. If they try to log in unsuccessfully so many times, it can block them. So it blocks a lot of hacker attempts from different countries, and it shows you their IP addresses and different things. It also can do a malware scan to see if you have any malware that's made its way onto your website. So I have had that happen before on some of my websites, and I was able to find out about it with the WordFence security plugin, and I could go in then and have it archive and clean those pages up and get them ready to go again before I make them live again on my website. So it's a useful plugin to have installed. The WP Fastest Cache plugin is another website optimization plugin that builds your website up for speed. So by caching your pages, it helps your pages load quicker in your visitors' browsers when they come to your website, and that can help speed up load times and make your users more happy to be on your website. If you have a slow website, that slows down the user experience. It makes your users upset. So it's good to have a caching plugin, and this is one of the key plugins that after I installed it, I saw my homepage speed jump up a lot faster. And we've gone over that in other videos if you want to check out my website speed optimization videos. I had the other plugin, WP Super Cache, which I was testing against the WP Fastest Cache plugin. I found that the WP Fastest Cache plugin worked best when I combined it up here with my Auto Optimize plugin. So when I had both those installed at the same time, I found the best results as opposed to having only one of those plugins installed at a time. And when I tried WP Super Cache with Auto Optimize, it wasn't producing as good of results as when I had it with the WP Fastest Cache. However, I've kept it around because things might change in the future. I might deactivate these different plugins and I might go back to using Super Cache if I find out that it's working better and working faster on its own. So sometimes, I like to keep these around in case I make changes to my speed in the future. I'm always trying to speed test every so often to make sure I'm optimizing my website to be as fast as it can be. Lastly, we've got the Yoast SEO plugin. This is the plugin that adds a section to your blog post so you can check them for SEO. So right here, we've got the Yoast SEO extension that shows up at the bottom of your blog post. So after I type out my entire blog post here in the description box, it'll scan that blog post and let me know if it scores a green light score, that it's optimized for SEO. If not, we can see all the different analysis things that we need to correct here. So it gives us all these different suggestions, and it gives a little red, orange, or green circle. And when you've optimized it, it turns green. So it's very useful for optimizing for Google if you're trying to get ranked in Google for search results and get traffic to your blog organically through Google search. So if you're not familiar with Yoast SEO or what SEO is in general, don't worry. Again, check my playlist here on my channel and you'll find different videos covering SEO and how to improve your website's SEO so that it shows up for different searches people are doing in Google, and that's how you're going to grow your website traffic. All right, guys, this is a long-winded video. I tried to go fast through it. If you want to watch the video again to learn more about each of these plugins, you can do that. But those were the different 26 plugins I currently have on my website. And from there, all you got to do is come here to the plugins tab, go to add new. And when you click on add new, it's going to open up all the different suggested plugins that are currently popular. So you can see all the different featured ones. You're going to see some of them that I've already talked about. You can go here to the popular tab. Again, you're going to see several plugins on the popular tab that we just talked about, like the Yoast SEO plugin. Now, if you need to search for a plugin, you just type in a word here in the search bar. So for example, if I was going to try to install like Google Analytics into my website, there is a Google plugin for that called Google Analytics Dashboard I can install. Right now, I've manually embedded the Google Analytics code into my theme. So in the Aveda tab here, I've got theme options, and there's actually a section for me to paste in hot HTML code or scripts, any type of code for tracking. So I already pasted in my Google tracking code into my theme direct. But if you don't have a theme that's got that option, you can install a plugin and you can paste in your code and connect it to your Google Analytics account that way. All right, so that's it for this video. I walked you through all the plugins I currently use on my website, why I use them, what they do, what their features are, and then I showed you how to deactivate, how to delete plugins, how to activate plugins, and how to find new plugins under the Add New Plugins section. So this was a good, complete tutorial. I feel like if you got value out of it, you can hit that thumbs up button, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial video. Thanks for being here. Yo, check this out. So if you type in asknickfoy.teachable.com, asknickfoy.teachable.com, when you hit enter, it's gonna open up my resource library. So I've been working on tons of training video modules, and I put them together in these different courses. And you can go over here to asknickfoy.teachable.com and you can learn how to start a website that makes money. So this is called Profitable Blogger. You can also learn how to make money from social media like Pinterest. You can also learn real estate investing. So these are 3 ways I currently make money right now. I'm making $6,000 to $7,000 a month. I've already come out with a video showing you how I was making $1,400 a week a little while back, and we're on pace to eventually get to $10K a month passive income through websites, through social media, and through real estate investing. So these 3 methods combined, I created these 3 training courses. You can go here to asknickfoy.teachable.com to check them out, and I look forward to seeing you guys on the inside when you enroll in them. Yo, before you go, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, Nick Foy TV. If you hover the lower right corner of your video right now, you're gonna see the little red subscribe button. When you hover that, it's gonna pop up that subscribe button, and it would mean a lot. I already appreciate you gave me your time, your attention today, but if you could also hit that subscribe button, support the channel, and smash the like button, as they all say in every YouTube video. So smash the like button, hit subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.